All right, welcome to Crypto News and Investigative Reports. I'm glad that you're joining us. I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own due diligence when investing in cryptocurrencies. Please make sure you take the time to investigate for yourself and look into the cryptocurrencies for yourself. Please do your own due diligence. And thank you for joining us. I'd like to start today taking some time to go through some stories. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to those that are on social media whose intentions are to inform and educate the public on this historical global transition from a fiat currency into a digital currency. I believe the people have the right to know. All right, I'm not a financial advisor, as I said, but everyone has the right to their own opinion, and the public has the right to know about this historical global transition. Once again, make sure you do your own due diligence when investing in cryptocurrencies. All right. Before I get to that story, I want to start with today with the top news. There's a lot of news going on today, and we're going to start right here. All right, crypto news and investigative report. The news. Let's start with the central bank news. Central banks' digital currencies, the CBDCs. You remember them? Those were the ones that were supposed to be like a stable coin connected to the central bank, whichever country that the central bank was in. It was going to develop a stable coin to connect to that country. But like for instance, with the Federal Reserve, people were saying that it was going to be the Fed coin. All right. But we have a news report. Central banks' digital currencies, the CBDCs, are impractical for daily use. The Bank of Japan's deputy governor says. He says the central bank's digital currencies, the CBDCs, may not work in the existing financial system, the Bank of Japan, the deputy governor said. He said he believes he believes money would have to be removed from circulation. That's really a big, bold statement right there. He said he believes money would have to be removed from circulation in order for the CBDCs to work, and that removing fiat is not practical. So that's a very bold statement coming from the Bank of Japan. Um, and so they're basically saying CBDCs will not work because they would have to remove money from circulation. That would just be, whew, that would be crazy. The Bank of Japan deputy governor has reportedly criticized the concept of central bank issued digital currencies, whose comments came during a meeting held in central Japan, and noted that the CBDCs would not be helping in improving this existing financial system. According to the New York Times, this is not the first time he has expressed skepticism about the bank issued cryptocurrencies. The University of Tokyo economics graduate also said that the Bank of Japan would not be issuing a CBDC. So what we have is we have further confusion coming from the central banks. We really don't know. We keep hearing rumors that the central banks is doing this, the central banks is doing that. You keep reading stuff on Twitter, keep seeing stuff on YouTube, you keep seeing different people say different things, but there is nothing public about what the central banks are doing. Everything that the central banks is doing at this present time, it is not made known to the public. But what the central banks need to do, they need to all get together, come to one agreement, figure out exactly what they're going to do so they can get all on the same page and move forward. They have a little time, but they don't have as much as time as they think regarding the movement of digital currencies. Digital currencies are moving faster every year. This is the end of 2018, going to be starting 2019 in a couple of months. These central banks need to figure out what they're going to do and get on board and start moving forward. They're lagging right now. All right, so here's the link. I'll put the links in the description. Our second story is on Bank of America. Our Merrill Lynch branch should be lead token product push one regulators show their hand. I think I'm going to skip this story right now. I think it's a very important story because it's a story on the commercial bank, Bank of America. This commercial bank has been making news because of all of the patents and the problems that it's having regarding making the transition from a fiat currency to the digital asset. They're having some very difficult times, and they're spending a lot of money when they really shouldn't have to be spending a lot of money. So I'll come back to the Bank of America story if I have time. But the other news I want to talk about is Terminos. That's some big news. Terminos announced today that it has added new functionality to existing and extensive corporate banking capabilities in the area of liquidity management, virtual accounts, and cash pooling. Yeah, now here's the link behind it underneath. I'll drop the link a little bit later when I finish this video. Temenos CEO said banks need to spend wisely on digital transformation. Now, um, I want to move down a little further here. That's the second article, and I think this article is more important than their news article that they put out today. The one about them spending wisely for the digital transformation. And here's before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to Love for Crypto. If you're not following Love for Crypto on Twitter, please follow Love for Crypto on Twitter because he is giving you the story behind the story. And I'll add to that, be careful with people on YouTube and that are on Twitter that are only giving you one side of the story. There's always two sides to a story. So I'm always skeptical of the person that's only giving us one side of the story. So you want to go ahead and follow Love for Crypto. He's given us both sides of the story. And this is a full video on the David Arnott, the CEO of Temenos. And this is what he says. Temenos CEO says banks need to spend wisely on digital transformation. And what he's saying here, he's saying that banks, what they're trying to do is trying to hold their information. And what they're doing, as a matter of fact, he says banks on an average spend about 17% on their IT systems compared to 4% in other industries. And that's where I want to comment because they're spending 17% because they're going out, banks trying to stay clandestine and trying to stay, and to try to keep hiding. What banks are doing is that commercial banks specifically, and maybe even some central banks, they're going out and they're hiring IT people to come in and to rewrite their whole systems for them. And that's costing them more money to go out and hire IT people and software people and engineers to come into these commercial banks and rewrite their software systems instead of just going out and hiring software people, hiring companies that can already do what they need, like Ripple, like the digital asset XRP. They can hire them and they can go ahead and do and save that. That's almost a 13% savings for them if they would do that. But no, banks are going out, commercial banks, especially commercial banks, they're going out and hiring engineers and IT people, and they got them to come in and to rewrite their software. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Nobody does that but banks. Only people that do that is people that are trying to not let information out. They're not, they're trying to covet everything and hold everything in and not let the public know what's up. So basically, that's what David Arnott. You really want to watch the full video, you can go to Love for Crypto's page. He's got it posted on his Twitter page. You can follow him on Twitter. All right. But like for instance, a major company wouldn't go out and they need some software for their office. They're not going to go out and hire engineers to come in and rewrite their whole software for their office. They're not going to do that. What a major company would do, they would hire a software firm that's already out there, that already is familiar with the problems, bring them in, they'll go in, they'll save, it only costs them 4% instead of spending, it would only cost them 4% instead of spending this high 17% right here. All right. So you really want to take a listen to this. I mean, because there's a lot of news about Temenos. And, he also makes the distinction between how come they are actually not connected to any specific bank. They are like, I would compare them to like a Cisco Systems, which, they're more infrastructure on the internet. They're more infrastructure on connecting. They're a connecting company. They have software that they can connect different banks and different payment providers, and so they have a great future. Anyway, so go ahead and go to Love for Crypto's page and take a look at that. All right, we'll move forward here. Ripple revealed. Ripple says banks using X current are looking to upgrade to XRP powered X Rapid. You know, X Rapid has been the story ever since it come out of Swell last month. So everybody's still early this month. So everybody's still excited about X Rapid. Banks using Ripple's X current technology are now looking to upgrade to the company's XRP powered X Rapid, according to Ripple's senior vice president of product management. He says a number of banks are seriously considering taking the plunge into crypto and using X Rapid to process their cross-border payments. What he said was X Rapid is seeing a greater traction among payment providers, including currencies Direct, Mercury FX, Via Americas, whereas the banks are not quite ready to take the plunge into the nascent cryptocurrency space. However, Mr. Burlia reports that some banks using Xcurrent are now looking to use XRapid for the second phase of their projects. Well, the only problem with that is they would have to be on the distributed ledger technology. And a lot of commercial banks like to try to lend all of the same people the same $100. And so commercial banks are not going to be able to use the distributed ledger technology to lend everybody the same $100 because every transaction is on the ledger. And that's kind of the main problem for a lot of commercial banks. They don't want to have to deal with the open ledger technology, and they're trying to develop ways to circumvent it. Yeah, I would agree with him. Most of the banks and every bank really needs it's going to be two types of banks: banks that are using the distributed ledger technology, blockchain, and banks that are not. And the ones that are not are going to fade. So yeah, power to Ripple. Ripple has the best in business. I can't say that enough. There's nothing better than Ripple XRP, Ripple and the digital asset XRP. All right. This right here, this article is Ripple a good fit for Coinbase? This is because we got this due to our Twitter page. All right. I just want to make a quick comment right here. We tweeted out a video last night, and before I tweeted that video out, I didn't check it for a couple of different facts. I want to make sure that I'm tweeting out when I'm tweeting out the things, I want to tweet out the right information, and when I'm putting stuff on YouTube, I want to make sure that the material that we're putting on YouTube is true as well as it's to the best of our ability. So I took the video down from last night. But then after further investigation, I found out that everything that I put on that video on YouTube last night was correct. So I should have never taken it down. I gotten a message from somebody that was saying that that was a fake document regarding a document that I had put on the YouTube video. So let's go through and I can explain why that video was taken down. Right here. It was this. This came to light last night, yesterday afternoon, and this was what I put. Somebody was telling me, they sent me a message that this was fake and this was not real. But after further investigation, we found out that this is not fake and this is real. And so this comment, is Ripple a good fit for Coinbase, is because of this this document right here. The DFS approves Coinbase Trust to offer custody for many coins, including XRP. And it goes in, we read a little bit of it. It says Coinbase Incorporated has held money transfers, money transmitters, and virtual currency license from DSF since 2017. DFS has also approved Coinbase Trust to offer secure custody services for 6 of the largest virtual currencies. And here they go. They are Bitcoin, they're Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, XRP, and Litecoin. XRP is the big puppy. And so so the next phase of this is, when will XRP be listed? That's what we want to know. When will XRP be listed on Coinbase? right? That's what the whole thing is. But the question becomes, is it a good fit? Is Ripple a good fit for Coinbase? Ripple does not need Coinbase. Coinbase needs Ripple. That's really what the deal is here, folks. So, in short, yes, the staggering success achieved by Ripple in recent years suggests that no matter if it gets a listing on Coinbase or not, the token is destined for bigger things. Did you catch that, folks? The token is destined for bigger things. The recent revelation further solidifies that Ripple is in talks with the Trump administration, as we have previously reported here at Crypto Daily. In addition, the fact that XRP isn't a minimal asset like Bitcoin has caught the eye of the Trump administration. So, in short, yeah, Ripple is a good fit for Coinbase, but the fact of the matter is, Coinbase at this particular stage of the game, Coinbase actually needs Ripple now. That's what Coinbase. So Coinbase is losing a gadazzle amount of money, and it's been losing money for months and months and months. So the longer Coinbase waits to list Ripple, the more money Coinbase is losing in the process. And so it is just stupidity at Coinbase. It's ridiculous of Coinbase, and it's not very good business sense that Coinbase is not listing Ripple XRP, the digital asset XRP, on their exchange. That's just really a pathetic business move by Coinbase. All right. So anyway, moving on. We're moving here. The Financial Intelligence Guide: Using Blockchain to Revamp Cross-Border Payments, Distributed Ledger Technology. I want to bring back what we started with. It's this document right here, the Financial Intelligence. It's the cash management. This is about the Deutsche Bank. Now, the Deutsche Bank is saying, listen, we really need to make this transition into the cryptocurrency. We really need to make this transaction now into distributed ledger technology. So now they're doing this full thing and moving into distributed ledger technology. And then we find in this document them talking about Ripple and using Ripple as an example, using blockchain to revamp cross-border payments using the distributed ledger technology. And it says, is blockchain living up to its potential in revolutionizing cross-border payment space? And they investigated. So the Deutsche Bank is really ready to make the change. It says right here, the distributed ledger eliminates frictions in cross-border payments and has the potential to reduce intermediary inefficiencies, costs, and risk. So the Deutsche Bank is saying, yeah, we're going to be moving into distributed ledger technology because it's the right thing to do. The American commercial banks need to take a page from the Deutsche Bank, all right? It says right here, it says, for example, and I'll read it, and I'll read some of this right here. It says, for example, distributed ledger-based global payments challenger Ripple claims that many of its more than 100 financial institutions RippleNet members are already in production with its solution. For example, SEB has processed more than 1 billion in payments over RippleNet between Sweden and the US. Ripple experienced a banner year in 2017 in terms of customers going live, says Alish Balera, Senior Vice President for Product Management at Ripple. He predicts even greater take up this year. And 2018 has started strong. In April, Santander launched OnePay FX, a real-time remittance service based on Ripple's Xcurrent product, which allow banks where did we go? banks products provides the liquidity for cross-border payments and leaving XRP, the digital asset, as a bridge currency, according to Mr. Valera. All right. And then it continues on to talk. It says, I'll read a little bit. I'll go on and read a little bit more. Not very much. It says, for example, colleagues, a U.S. non-bank financial institution is now using XRapid to make payments from U.S. to Mexico. All right. I'll stop there. But when you get an opportunity, you want to go back and you want to continue reading this document. This is the Deutsche Bank using blockchain to revamp cross-border payments. They've done their investigation. They've done their homework. They've done their due diligence. And they're starting to look at it and they're going, you know what? For their cash management, they're actually going to be moving into distributed ledger technology and blockchain. This is the Deutsche Bank, July 2018. This is a great read. You want to take the time to go back and read it. All right. Let's move a little bit further. We're almost done here on the news. All right. The projected coming financial crisis, right? This is the story that nobody wants to talk about, but this is the story that everybody needs to know about. The projected coming financial crisis. And it's interesting, what I have highlighted here is 2020, because everybody is saying that we're going to get mass adoption with Ripple by 2020. But at the same time, the parallel to that is a global financial crisis by 2020. Also, they have changed. I want to make this point. They have changed they're not really actually using the word global financial crisis anymore. They're using the term global financial reset. All right. Not the global financial crisis. Now you're starting to see the terminology change to global financial reset. All right. So this is a great article. Experts reveal when the next financial crisis will strike, and it's sooner than you think. I'll have that link down in the description of the video a little later for you to go back. I'm going to try to keep moving. It is predicted that the U.S. shares could drop by 20%, well below 54% tumbled in the S&P 500 index a decade ago. Bigger falls would be seen in energy prices, the value of base materials and shares in emerging markets such as in Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So this is a very important story. I keep saying that the projected coming financial crisis is the story that nobody wants to talk about, but everybody needs to know about, especially those that are in cryptocurrency. Now, be careful. I'll say it again. Be careful of the person that's only giving you one side of the story. You need both sides of the story, and then that way you can make a better decision, a better judgment about what you would invest in. All right, Jerome Powell is Trump's scapegoat. That's an interesting story. It's about how the Trump administration is blaming Jerome Powell for the problems that it's having. That's why Ripple and the digital asset XRP has caught Trump's attention, because he's starting to see that in order for us to be on a level playing field, he needs to make some other arrangements. That's a great story. All right. Please follow us on Twitter. We're at Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Our handle is RobTech, ROBTECH, RobTechP. And in concluding, there was just another 3.5 million users can now buy XRP using credit and debit cards after Changelly Simplex CC partnership. That is a news breaking story right there. It's from Ethereum World News. So you want to go ahead and take a look at that story. All right. Until the next time, wherever you are, have a great day. And if it's nighttime, wherever you are, have a good night. And thank you for listening.